Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's your girl, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 6 of Crude, the finale to this absolutely brutal and just honestly amazing series. It was, guys, this series really, I felt this story personally, just as a member of the LGBTQ community, and just with the story behind this. It was just, it's a beautiful story, and if you guys haven't caught up, there are gonna be spoilers in this video, especially with it being the last one. So pick this series up. It's amazing, and I can personally vouch for it that you will really appreciate this series. So let's get right into it. So we start off back in Blackstone, back at the Prava hideout after Piotr, Kostya, and Masha had been kidnapped by what we thought was Meshe Adam, but was actually Petropinnacle, or by Ivan Kirpichni, who is the top dog of both sides, and the top dog of Blackstone in general. And so we see the soldiers of Meshe Adam kind of what is it? I guess shit talking Mikhail, who was a friend of Piotr, but ended up selling both Piotr and Prava out to Petropinnacle, but instead being attacked by Meshe Adam and being killed by them as well. And so we hear these soldiers saying that we need to find Kostya. He has a LoJack, some kind of tracking device they use for dogs that's embedded into their bodies, I guess. And they said it's in his hip, right above his dick or something. Anyway, now we see Piotr, who is at the mercy of Kirpichni, Ivan Kirpichni, and he's pretty messed up. He's been punched, he's swollen, he has cigarette burns all on his face and everything. And we see Ivan Kirpichni here saying, all this for your dead son? Kirill Petrovich was a sexually confused man-child that thought he could lead. I know everything that happens on Blackstone. I knew he was fucking the Prava leaders. They were well hidden, but he wasn't. And I gave him a choice: give up his lovers or do my work through Meshe Adam. And that is how he died, essentially. I aimed him at Petropinnacle. Kirill was shot in broad daylight. People said little. They knew to be afraid. Why do you think people accept Blackstone's subhuman, extremely profitable conditions? Hope keeps them working despite the desolation, and they think it will be better if their side wins. Anyway, he continues to say that I made Blackstone a perpetual motion machine, grinding out people's lives and feeding me the fruits of their labor. And Piotr just responds with, fuck your machine, and fuck you and your machine, Ivan. And Ivan continues to dig at Piotr, trying to just make him more angry and more upset, obviously, because he thinks he has the upper hand. Obviously Piotr is tied up and supposedly at his mercy, but he continues to kind of talk himself up. He says, unlike you, Petya, I've left sons all over the world, and none of them are half men. You didn't teach your son how to act. He saw you healing to life to whatever master appeared, and it made him weak. It made him like he was a passive queer. But he says, I know that feeling, Petya, seeing your hopes for a man you made die. Right, Kostya? And turns out, he says, it's thanks to you I found him, my own degenerate. Turns out, Kostya, the leader of Prava, is actually Ivan's son. And he continues to say, I know the deep twist in the stomach that seeing someone like him gets. After years, even after taking back my name, there's nothing to be done with the son that acts like a daughter. Anyway, Piotr responds by saying, you know fucking nothing. And this is where Ivan says, someone so passive, who'd touch a man like a woman should, who would want such a child? And this part warmed my heart and just like really revved me up, because Piotr says, I would. And he breaks free of his bindings, holy shit, for one thing, and he just dives right at Ivan, breaking him through the wall of this room that he was being held in. Turns out it's in the middle of a Petropinnacle office, you know? And we see all these people in business suits, and Piotr's just saying, me, you rat fuck, I fucking would. And Ivan tries to call for help, saying, help me, you broke dick morons. This Meshe Adam Zella is attacking Petropinnacle. Kill him or something, you know? And then we see Piotr and him fighting through an emergency exit and falling down like several flights of stairs, and then finally falling, I don't know how long they fell, but they fall into the lobby of this Petropinnacle office, and all these other suits are just saying like, that's Ivan Gregorovich, I'm not going to butcher the name, but he says he's on the Petropinnacle board, that's him. But he's like, who's punching him? And what's that noise? And that it sounds like a hurricane. And then as Ivan and Piotr stand to face each other, we hear the Prava soldiers breaking through, saying, Petropinnacle workers, this is your leader, the man who has fucked you since you arrived. He will not help you, and he does not love you. Open your eyes, because Prava stands for you. They actually hold the promise of protecting them and giving back the life that Blackstone promised in the way that Meshe Adam didn't uphold, you know? And so Kostya and Masha end up getting rescued, and then we see Ivan and Piotr like really getting down and dirty in their fight, and we see Ivan shedding his suit coat, showing that he has a bulletproof vest, but you know, it's not really gonna do much good, and he ends up stabbing Piotr in his left shoulder, and essentially, pardon the pun, disarming him. And so Ivan's like, no, that arm is dead, you idiot. And Piotr's like, you think I need to? Oh, jeez, he's such a badass. Anyway, they start fighting again, and Piotr's saying, you think you're a father? You're nothing. Nothing. And Ivan's just like, fuck, you're nothing. And we see them still fighting, you know, throwing punches. Piotr's not really even using that knife. He's kind of just like stabbing at the vest, you know? And he's saying, you don't deserve any of your children. I know, because I didn't either. And Ivan continues to say, deserve what? And that's when Kostya comes in saying, me. It's been a while since the disowning, yet by turning me away, you were a father to me. Like it or not, you made this possible. You showed me what not to be. You made Prava. You made me hard. And, you know, essentially saying, like, you're the one who made me the man that I am. And Ivan continues to say, like, no, I wish you were never pushed out, you whatever. And then we see Piotr turn him around saying, look at me. And he cuts open his vest and pulls out the Kevlar or whatever material was used for that vest. And Ivan is just continuing to throw threats out, saying, you think I give a fuck about you, about them? I'll murder you right in front of these idiots. I built this thing. My hands all up all your asses. It can't be possible. That vest was expensive, you know? And that's when Piotr just whams him right in the face, knocking out like several teeth. And Ivan's pretty I guess dazed now. He's stunned, and so Piotr says, "You've worked hard for this. Built Petropinnacle, Meshe Adam, this whole fiefdom. So much work to build, so much easier to break." And he says, "You shouldn't have touched Carol." And then Ivan says, "Kirpichni, your son, you did this." And he says to look, Ivan, look at your son. And as Ivan ends up like using Kostya to like pick himself back up, he says, "I don't see any son here." And we kind of see a little bit of a disappointed look on Kostya's face, but he kind of wrote off his father a long time ago, so he pushes him off of him. And that's when Piotr uses his elbow and bashes it into Ivan's head, essentially killing him. I think he actually ended up breaking his neck. And then we see Ivan just bleeding out and dying on the floor, and Piotr says, "That's it." And Kostya ends up walking up to Ivan's body, saying, "He's actually dead. It's strange. It doesn't even look like him." All this, Piotr. And Piotr says, "Don't thank me. I won't. You've done a lot, but what have you done? You think this was simple revenge? Prava is out in the open. There's no going back. Was killing Ivan really worth it? It's a grievous wound, but not a mortal one." And Piotr says, "It's unusual for me." And so they continue to say that Petropinnacle's board is intact. They'll push back hard. And now that they know their leader is a fraud, Meshe Adam will be twice as aggressive and violent. And they'll be desperate to prove their mission wasn't a lie. And then that's when we hear that both Kostya and Meshe are trying to say, this was a solid strike against Blackstone. This is a tipping point. There's more you can do here. Tip things to our favor. Carol started Prava with us. Stay here and help us finish it. But Piotr ends up saying what Carol started. He ends up saying he thinks about his son, about when he died, when he was little, about the possibility of feeling love, and he does something really heartwarming here, where he kisses both Kostya and Meshe on the forehead, saying, "I'm glad Carol loved you both. I thought Blackstone was what you said, revenge, a chance to leave whoever killed Carol facing the dirt. But really, it was a chance to learn." And so he says thank you to everyone as he's passing up to the point where he gets to this harbor, and he says, now I'm done, as he's waiting for one of the ferries to come to the bay. And that's the end of this issue. And wow, this series was just absolutely amazing. And we see this letter by Steve Orlando, the writer of this series, saying we started this whole thing saying I was angry, essentially saying that this book was about missed opportunities, but that's the beauty of fiction. Your opportunities are still in front of you. That's why Piotr Petrovich is a magic fictional assassin. We call it world building, but we're not building a whole world, just a snapshot of it, a cube of time we can visit whenever we want. His parting words are like, enjoy this one, feel empowered by this one, learn and love from this one, and as you enter the world, let yourself be angry, but learn from Piotr Petrovich. Make it your divining rod, and help it focus you, turn it beneficial to you and those who will follow you, and allow yourself at last, as he does, to let go of all the anger of today. Allow yourself to be done. and it was just a beautiful letter. And I really hope you guys pick up this series because it was just absolutely beautiful. If you guys have watched my videos but you haven't read the series, you know, pick it up. It's worth it. There's a whole lot I wasn't able to cover or really able to, you know, maybe what I wasn't able to interpret in my own way, but it really is an amazing series, and I hope you guys like it just as much, well, love it just as much as I did. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications of when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And that's the end of this series for the comic wall. And if you guys have any comments you'd like to you know, talk about this series, drop them down in the comment section and we'll talk about it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.